Good afternoon, everybody. It's Lorraine Alternative Homesteading. I'm back here with another blockbuster video on November 10, 2025. And no, I'm not going to shut up. And yes, thank you for your comments. After viewing my short video this morning about the pair that was sabotaged by the Freemasons, you're absolutely right. It was the Freemasons. I live in a town infiltrated by those middle-aged, disgusting, Freemasonic pieces of crap here in Jackson County, Kentucky. Why are they pieces of crap? Any man that harasses a woman is a piece of crap. Any man that targets and harasses a senior citizen, male or female, is a piece of crap. Any man or woman that harms animals is a fucking piece of crap. And that's what this video is about. This video is about how here in Jackson County, Kentucky, the satanic Freemasonic cult targets innocent animals. So now, one of my subscribers who could not get into the chat, who I mentioned on my channel, sheepishly asked me for copies of the photos of what happened to Lotus. I also sent them to one other person, but nobody else asked me for the photos because they wanted to observe, they wanted to expand, enlarge the photos to view what happened to Lotus. In addition, I sent her other videos. I sent her the video of my cat Leo, who after I moved here was poisoned with antifreeze. I sent her all those photos and the video documenting the torture that they did to my cat Leo in the heat after I moved here. I sent her other videos of what they did to my other cats here. I'm going to read to you her response. She says, "Oh, my heart goes out to you. Those are the most disturbing images I have ever seen. I see the scratches and the black eyes, the burns, all of it. None of that is natural, not by any means. I wouldn't even want to know what was used to cause such awful conditions in her. I saw Leo and know what the antifreeze looks like. I watched my in-law's cat die from that with my father-in-law. Was absolutely horrific as well. How anyone could be so heinous, deviant, pathetically heartless, actually doing these cruel acts, all for what? For control? Pure evil and control. There's not much difference than rape, for example. We know that's all about control. It's not hate. A cat? A harmless cat? And when I say it's all about control, these people don't even know us. It's nothing to do with hating us. Vendetta? How can it be a vendetta at this point? You moved there knowing no one. I moved here not knowing anyone, she says. People say it's for the money. Well, maybe for some. I can tell you anyone that I have known to be in the stock of my family and pets, they have plenty of money. From $1 million meth-busted ones by the FBI to Lockheed Martin contractors, you name it, they don't lack any funds. I never question the hate anymore. It's not hate. I don't know a one who has stuck around this long, 30 plus years, that's going easy, who actually knows me. The reason is control. They lack it, so they need it. They are out of control. Such a deranged mentality. Effing robots. They sure know how to pick the easiest to manipulate. Very difficult to look at. More difficult is knowing there isn't a damn thing that will stop these people. If they want to or are ordered to by the sick hive mind that they are a part of, they're going to do it. I was at Walmart the other day and a group asking for donations to help stop animal cruelty was there. I thought to give them money, then I thought, why? Their money sure won't stop them. And if my animals were hurt, which they are every single day, I won't benefit, nor will any other targeted person's pet. So I didn't give. Pretty shitty way to think when I know that this goes on, but it's kind of where the mind goes after we experience tragedy after tragedy. I'm so sorry, Lorraine. I hear you on moving. It's brutal. I'm torn about moving. I could, but what's in store for the next location? I'm not sure. Which people were more whacked out of their damn minds. And she, I won't give her personal information here. Do what you need to do. I never heard of so many hits after hits to one woman. I'm sure me moving would be to strip the assets more, and I wouldn't know what's to come. Hang in there. No one said life would be easy, but who the F said another human being can come in and attempt to F with our lives? Delete our pets and family and ultimately us, slowly, as they watch. I never heard one until I heard the word and definition of this quote-unquote program. The past 10 minutes of editing this, the reason I'm being so distraught over this, I got the clicks to my ear, which is the microwave. My screen has pulsed, literally. The time on the left in the bars, 50 battery area over and over. The copy of words to move. The blue ran up the entire email. Who enjoys this shit? Watching. Knowing it's their sin. And knowing we're not the bad ones, not the terrorists, just good people trying to live our lives. Well, thank you so much for that. Thank you for viewing those horrific photo images. And I didn't even send you the worst of the worst. My cat Peaches had her eyes torn out of her head when I lived at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey, a home I lived in for 30 years as original owner, and she was torn out of the cat colony. Peaches, the sweetest cat, on Christmas Day, in the rain, tore her eyes out of her head and threw her on the entrance to where I would enter to feed the cats. This is how sick these people are. And yeah, you're right. The Freemasons are in on it. They're the foot soldiers for the deletes, that I call them, the sickos, the psychopaths. And you don't think that they're funded? All those Freemason, non-profit, they call themselves a religion? That's another lie. It's a cult. C-U-L-T. Cult. They do horrific things to people and animals. Here in Jackson County, Kentucky. And no, I'm not ever going to shut up. Well, thank you for the criminals, the powers that be, demonetizing my account. After all the hard work I put into it, I'm still going to post videos. You're not going to shut me up. But I'll just have to look for other ways of earning an income. Because I have to absolutely have to have it. I need to pay for cat food. And my cat food bill on a monthly basis, between cat litter, food for the chickens and for the cats, is over $800. So that YouTube money was going to pay, literally pay, to feed these animals. And I'll just add, back in New Jersey, even while I was targeted, I had so many people donating to me. Because, they can't get to everyone in such a huge town. I would put the word out there that I need straw for my cat colony. Could you donate all the straw, the straw bales that they would have on display, for Halloween? Some people would just drop them off at my front door, drop them off at the colony, or ask me to come and pick them up. When I'd put the plea out there, can you send me any of your sheets and pillowcases that you don't want anymore? I had stuff being dropped off at the local Pet Value for me, at my home. Tons of people, generous people in New Jersey, very generous. Of course they're generous. They live in $1 million homes. They throw stuff away all the time. New stuff, old stuff. I got more donations in New Jersey, like in a month, than I have gotten here in 6 years in this community. Not one pillowcase. They destroy everything I have, including my cats. So yes, I apologize for having to reach out. But for those who were members of the channel, if you could donate through Cash App or another way. Somebody asked me about my post office box to mail me a check. I do have a post office box, but I have not been in town now for almost a year. I don't get to my post office box often. I was going like every 3 months, religiously, but I have not been. Right now, my car battery died. I have to have it restarted. This is the second time in a month. Because they don't want me to leave here. They don't want me to go into town and do the things I need to do or buy food. And no, I'm not going to shut up about it. And I don't care. My neighbors are depraved lunatics. I will never move to a rural area ever again. I am so soured. Even though my property is beautiful. And right now, I'm going to tell you, it's snowing. I moved from New Jersey for a lot of reasons. Of course, the primary reason was it's too expensive. My property taxes were so high. My property taxes now, if I were still there, it's like $15,000. Who can afford that? Well, of course, the people can. They're earning over $100,000 a year. But I moved from there because of the property taxes, and I just couldn't afford to live there anymore. But also the snow. It has snowed more here in Kentucky in the 6 years that I'm living here than it has in New Jersey. And I'm going to show you very quickly. I'm going to point my phone out my window right now so you can see what it's doing. And then I'm going to end this video. I so appreciate everybody. I've learned so much from you guys. I appreciate you alone have helped the channel grow to over 7,000 subscribers. Of course, some of you guys are perpetrators, but hey, you know what? If we can monetize the perps, why not, right? So, Anybody that wants photos of what they did to my cat Lotus, if you can stomach it, enlarge the photos and see how they cut her eyes, how they changed the color, and what they did to the inside of her mouth. If you can stomach it. AlternativeHomesteading@gmail.com. And I reached out yesterday to an animal rights activist, and I want my story told. I don't care how it gets out there. What happens to my animals here in Jackson County, Kentucky, and how the sheriff is falsifying incident reports, fabricating them, stuffing dead animals in my mailbox, and then refusing to give me an incident report that is still under investigation while they're banking on me. No. No, I'm not going to shut up. And all of my written FOIA requests will be public. So, Bobby Edwards, I sent you another FOIA request, right? Right now, I think we're running on, you've got 3 days left. And then I'll be posting it online. And then writing to the Attorney General that you've violated the FOIA request, in addition to committing property real tax fraud. I'm going to sign off for now. Here's the weather here in Jackson County, Kentucky. And you see here, I've got a kitty here. That's Zoomy right there. You can see the snow on the ground. It's snow right here. Want to say hi? Say hi? No, we're too busy sleeping. Okay, I'm going to sign off for now, guys.